Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this doesn't work. Let's get open for business here today on this beginning of the NFL league year. Literally, technically, it starts at 4 o'clock this afternoon Eastern time, but it's really been going on for quite a while. We've seen so many moves and things that basically just can't get finalized until after 4 o'clock. Players have been leaving left and right. Did you literally feel the earthquake yesterday with Odell being traded to the Browns? Giant fans are losing their minds. Le'Veon Bell signing, of course, with the Jets. You're seeing, of course, AB last week signing with the Raiders. Players are moving left and right, and it's just like everybody is jockeying for position to try and make that run for that Super Bowl championship, the chase beginning just 176 days, 12 hours, and 53 seconds from right now. Lost in all this yesterday was former Dallas Cowboy player Jason Hatcher talking about Tony Romo and Dak Prescott. And this is actually a good person to bring up at this point because we can look at free agency because everybody right now is on edge. We are thirsty for something, anything to happen. We want to see a new player and have some new hope about things getting better. But we sit here and we wait. We see Odell being traded. You see the Giants getting draft picks. You see the Browns becoming the dream team. You see teams that have been bad that are getting big name stars, spending tons and tons of money. You're seeing teams like the Redskins that are broke, yet they're signing a new safety, Landon Collins. And we sit here. So we as fans feel like we're being left behind. So Jason Hatcher is a good person to go back into free agency with. But let's go ahead and listen to what he had to say first about Tony Romo and Dak Prescott.
Romo just didn't have the it factor to make people around him better. I think when I was there, I think he was bigger than the team. It was like Romo and then the team. Like nobody in the locker room gonna really respect you like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't respect him as a player. Based on what he did to the team, a lot of people didn't see. He was a great player, he got all the numbers, but I'll take Dak over Romo any day because Dak have the ability to make people around him better. Like you'll run through a wall for Dak, but Romo, hell no. Romo was thinking he was kind of like feeling like he was like a Brett Favre, and I'm like, dude, you ain't did nothing. Like, what have you done? Like you got your own little space that you leave. Don't come in the locker room and interact with your teammates, but you call yourself a leader? Nah, partner, it don't work like that. But a lot of people don't know that. So y'all got me on here. You asked me for the
I want to hear it. What is this space?
I really don't care about how nobody feels. I'm just telling you the truth. He got great numbers, trust me. But he's had so many opportunities. Like if I was a GM, Romo do not have the ability to make people around him like want to go and want to play for him. Like I don't want to hear every day we got to keep chopping wood. I don't want to hear that. Like do something. Let's hang out. Let's get to know each other. Like don't come and after you done chill with Jerry, go to Duke, in the press box with him, and then come down here and try to relate to people that's about the players. Like I don't respect nobody like that. I'll take Dak any day over that. And Dak right now will win your championship way before Romo.
Wow. Law had mentioned to me that Jason Hatcher was going on here, and this isn't actually what I expected to hear from this interview. I thought this was going to be more of he was going to dish on the Dallas Cowboys and the organization, kind of have sour grapes, because as we're sitting here going through free agency, as we lose Cole Beasley, because everybody's like, man, you got to keep Cole Beasley. Man, how in the world can we make it without him? That's a great player, and he is a great player. And don't come back at me and saying you're just trashing Cole Beasley. I'm not trashing Cole Beasley. But you have to understand that you can only keep so many players, and players start getting old. So when you look at locking up, like they just did $29 million for the next 4 years for a guy who will be getting older. The trends tell you that as wide receivers get past 28, their productions go down. It's a fact. I said the same thing when we signed Dez Bryant before. I said, pay the man. But I said, understand what happens. When Megatron signed his mega deal, his numbers went down. It's not that they want to go down or that they're relaxing because they're getting paid. It's just because players are getting older. You don't recover as fast. Your body wears down. You're not as quick as you once were. And those guys deserve to be paid because the reality is the system is set up against the players. The fact that you get drafted, the place that you are drafted, you are locked into that money for the first 4 or 5 years. Dak Prescott has more than outplayed his contract, but there's nothing he can do about it. When you're getting paid less than $1 million a year as a starting NFL quarterback, especially for the Dallas Cowboys, that's robbery. When you got stiffs out there that aren't even close to being on the field that are making $15 a year. But that's the way the system is set up. When you know that the average player only lasts for about 3.5 years and you can't get a second contract till your 4th or 5th year, you're screwed. So I'm not mad about players wanting to get as much money as possible because basically you're locked in. And I know we as fans who don't make millions of dollars every year look at that money and say, well, you got $2 million. You should be satisfied with that. Understand that these guys, when they're done with football, are screwed up. And maybe with some of these guys, the only thing they have ever done is football, and they're not ready for the real world afterwards. This money, as you and I work until we're 60, 65, 70, in some cases, they'll never make the amount of money that we will throughout our lifetime because that money is only there for a year or two. So the money they're making has got to last. And unfortunately for a lot of them, they don't. Take a look at some of the players that are out there that have no career, have no money, and are homeless. Joe Gilliam, the first black quarterback in the NFL, died on the streets homeless in Atlanta. So I'm not mad about players trying to make as much as possible because the teams, and as much as people say you're not loyal to the team is only loyal to the player while they are productive. Once you can't help me anymore, you got no use to me, bye. And that contract that I signed you for all that money, you ain't getting that. But Jason Hatcher is a great example because we look at Cole Beasley and say, man, we can't make it without that guy. You should re-sign him. We're going to be screwed on it. Because in 2014, we let him go along with DeMarcus Ware. And on paper, when you said that you just let go your sacks for the season and Jason Hatcher having 11 sacks, how could we let go a guy that just had 11 sacks? But if you look at his career, 2.5 sacks, 2 sacks, 1 sack, 1 sack, 1 sack, 4.5, 4, 11. Do you look at that 1 year and say, that's the guy right now? The light switches come on and he's going to continue to just keep getting better? Or was this just a contract year and an aberration to what he's done in the past? Because you could have turned around and paid him a mega contract, kind of like the Redskins did, I think 3 years, $30 million or something like that, which at the time was quite a bit. But then you looked at where his numbers went, back down to basically his averages. And so that's what you have to look at when you sign free agents, because sometimes what happens is you benefit from the system you're in. Jason Hatcher benefited from having DeMarcus Ware on the other side, even though DeMarcus Ware was not the same DeMarcus Ware. I think DeMarcus Ware only had 6 sacks that season. But he got the focus, which means he didn't. And so he could play better. And for the Cowboys not to re-sign him, what's interesting is that year, our defense was 32nd in the NFL, historically bad. We let go Ware. We let go Jason Hatcher. And Sean Lee got injured. And our defense went from 32nd to 19th. Not earth-shattering, but you don't expect to lose that guy with DeMarcus Ware and Sean Lee, 3 important cogs to your defense, and get better. What do the Washington Redskins do with them? Not much. He was there for 2 years. Career over. But back to his statements about Tony Romo. That's interesting what he said, that Tony Romo had an arrogance to him, and I don't know because I wasn't there, but believes what Dak does more. And I know the Romo haters are going to come out and just say, I'm a Dak lover and everything else, but no, I keep trying to tell you guys that there's a lot of quarterbacks out there that are incredible, but they're not liked by their team. They're arrogant. They'll tell your offensive line, you guys are shit, man. F you guys. They don't hang out together. They don't do things together. They have all kinds of ability, but people don't really like you, and you don't necessarily have the it. I talked about Chris Richard, that he has it as a coach because guys literally are ready to run through a brick wall. They take on your mentality. They believe in him and what he is saying, and you get that belief in a player, they're going to do that much better. And that's it with Dak Prescott. I don't know how his career is going to go. I don't know if he'll ever win a Super Bowl and things. But you know that when the team was losing, they never got on Dak Prescott. When Dak Prescott was in a slump, they still believed in him. They can be down in the fourth quarter and they need a drive, and they come together because they have it. Can he be better at passing? Sure. Better with his reads? Definitely. Because everybody has to improve. But when it comes to being a teammate and those guys, when you see those Instagram posts and stuff and says, not to my coworkers, but my brothers, when you see him out going fishing together with the guys, when you see them throwing M&Ms and stuff at each other in the locker room, I keep telling you guys that this group has become a family. And when people say, oh man, let's go get a Le'Veon Bell and add him to the mix, or, let's get an Odell Beckham, I'm telling you, those guys are cancerous. I'm not saying that they're not great players, because they are. But sometimes it's not about one or two great players. It's about guys playing as a team. You can have 10 guys do the exact right thing on a play, and it fails because one guy doesn't get it right. And that's the it that Jason Hatcher was talking about with Dak Prescott. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens in free agency. But I just wanted to bring that to you guys because with all the news that's been going on in the NFL, this is kind of a minor thing and it kind of gotten swept away, but it's actually really, really important. So let me get my behind into the workshop. I got all these cabinets I got to work on, getting sanded up, varnished, and I got more to build. So as always, friends, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Because without you guys, this does not work. And I hope you have a great day.